Oh, I hit the button. We're live. Buenas noches, AJ.
What's up, man? Hey, you know something really funny that you could try? I don't know if, results may vary here. But last night I went to a Super Bowl party that a friend was having. And I was really just going to hang out with a bunch of friends that I hadn't seen in like forever because they're great friends and awesome people. I watched maybe 2 minutes of the game entirely.
That sounds about right. That sounds like a good Super Bowl party. Yep.
Yeah. I honestly wanted both teams to lose. So I was just like, whatever.
I'm not even a sportsman, but fuck you.
I was like, somebody was like, who do you want to win? I was like, can they both lose? But congratulations to the Sea Chickens. Salty Falcons fan here. But anyways, enough about sports ball. I was, one thing that's really fun to do is to meet up with like old friends and have them kind of like reminisce and tell you about like old stories that you don't remember. And like, I have a pretty good memory, but there's a lot of stuff I don't remember from hanging out with friends like 20 years ago.
Sure.
My example, all I got to say is you should try it sometime and hang out with, like I said, results may vary. Maybe there's some things you don't want brought back up again. But for me, I learned that, do you remember when Bacardi 151 like was like a new thing?
Yeah.
When that came out, and I remember it was kind of like a craze around it because like, oh, I guess it's just good marketing or something. But I learned that there was a night where I was at this same friend's house, and some of the people that were at this party were there, and there was a night where they were driving around an old like late 90s Explorer, Ford Explorer, great SUV, by the way. Those things, he got that thing, I remember, to like almost 300,000 miles. And they almost crashed, or apparently they crashed into a tree and almost died. Meanwhile, I was driving a tractor in the backyard with them separately. And I was like, I don't remember this. I was like, I don't remember driving around a tractor and watching you guys crash in a Ford Explorer into a tree in your backyard. But just one of the many examples that sometimes meeting up with old friends and sharing old stories can be a really fun time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is the story over? Because wow, that was rough. That was rough. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
not gonna lie, AJ. That was pretty rough. Yep.
Yeah. That's usually how I do it, though, right?
Okay.
Like, don't you usually like my really long, drawn out, awful stories?
I mean, let's just fucking hope the chat likes it, because somebody around here has to. Can we start the show?
Markio says, "Oh man, I got some 151 stories."
Markio, how do you feel about being a co-host today? You could take either of our places. Either one will be an improvement on my end.
Anyways,
can we please, for the love of God, start the show?
Let's start the show, baby.
Let's go. This is PSVR GameScast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Eyes Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live 6 p.m. Eastern for your viewing pleasure. We also care about your oral pleasure as we put this up on podcast services of your choice. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here with Parole, and this guy over here to my left, to your right, is AJ from The Underground. PSVR Underground!
What is up, everybody? What is up, Game Cats? Happy Monday. I know that Mondays usually suck, but we're here to make sure that your Sunday sucks. Monday sucks. Just a little less. You're talking really fast, so I'm trying to match you. Are we like on fast forward mode? What are we doing? What's going on here? Did you have a lot of coffee again?
Just been watching a lot of Micro Machine commercials. It's just definitely been a day. It's been a week. I will say, just awful weekend all around. Awful weekend. Oh. Didn't feel good. I was in a miserable mood. I took it out on some people who anybody who was around me. Basically, I was just a horrible person to be around. And
who was I? I'm like your favorite person to take things out on. I was not there for you. I have failed you, and I am sorry.
I don't know. I sent you a text, I sent you a text over the weekend, and your response to my anger was, "Hey, take a look at my living room." And you sent me a picture of your living room, and I was like, "Okay, well, I can't be mad about that."
By the way, I just want to say I respect you so much more now for playing. Listen, I always respect you, man. But I heard you. I listened to Wednesdays, and Fridays GamesCast, and I heard you talking about you were playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. Did I hear correctly?
Just started, and I got to say that it is basically it's okay. So I have so many thoughts. The big thought is, seriously, Nintendo, get your shit together with these game key cards, right? I love Switch and Switch 2 because they're kind of the last bastion of like real physical media, and the fact that like these game key cards, basically it's like having a physical digital code. That's all it is. You put the little card in, and then it begins a 90 gig download. It's so dumb.
Oh my god!
Right, and so I
sounds
had
like PS3 all over again.
I had to delete everything off my Switch 2 for it to download, and I was like, well, this is going to take a while. And so I started playing Spelunky while it was downloading. Came back an hour later, only to realize that Spelunky must have been online, and Nintendo can only do one thing at a time online. Like, it's like if you're playing Spelunky, it's like, sorry, we're not going to download this thing in the background. And so I was like, miserable start. However, I got in and played a little bit of the game, and I gotta say, man, this thing looks fucking beautiful on Switch too. It really does. Like, I mean, I don't know what it looked like on the console, but I can only imagine. The character animations are great. The lighting, the environments, everything looks great. It's running at 30 frames per second, but like, honestly, it feels really smooth I'm playing it portable style, right? So it feels really smooth. So I don't have any complaints, and the action is fast and fluid, and it feels really good to play. And I gotta be honest with you, man. I don't know if I've played Final Fantasy VII since it first came out on PlayStation 1, right? And so getting back to that opening mission, you know, where you're first meeting all the characters, you meet Cloud and everyone else, and it's just, it brought back so many memories. I think my issue is like, while I'm playing through, I'm not going to know what's new and what's old, right? Because it's been so long. It's been 30 years, I think, since I played it. So. Yeah. So, but I am very, very impressed by it. In you know, with the few minutes that I was able to play it.
It's cool. It's a shame. It's too bad you don't have, you know, a PS5 to play it on.
I know, right?
Or a Pro. Get a Portal. No, but that game is that's my favorite game of all time. So I was like, oh, like that is awesome. I am obsessed with that game, and the reason I sent Brian a picture of my living room cats is because I recently have been making my living room Final Fantasy VII themed. It's got a bit of a Midgar inspiration behind it. I've got like a black and neon, like teal neon green rug, and like a TV stand that glows green, like Mako energy, and I've got like this pipe, this metal. They're real metal pipes, and it's like metal pipe shelves that look kind of like a steampunk thing. I love the aesthetic of Midgar and everything. And then I got a bunch of like Final Fantasy art around the room, and I've never done anything like that, but that's been one of the things I've been trying to do is actually decorate a little bit. Like if I have like one weakness, which I have many, but one of my biggest ones is probably like I've never put a lot of time into like decorating my house. And so I've been trying to get better at that, and I just want to come home and like feel better about, you know, like not come home and be like, I want to come home and be like, like, yeah, this is my place. And I took I drew a lot of inspiration from like FF7, and I've created a really unique room, and it feels good. Hopefully the first of like many. Good. Yeah, it's a world of difference when the place where you live is just enjoyable to be in, right? And not just design wise, but like, you know, cleanliness and all of that stuff is one of the big things that sirens on my end. It's one of the big things that I've kind of learned at being an adult, right? As a kid, you're like, I don't care if my room's messy. Why should I clean my room? It's just gonna get messy again. Why should I make the bed? It's just gonna get unmade again when I sleep in it. But man, like when you're in a
clean space. That's really cool. It's just enjoyable to be in. It changes your entire mindset on pretty much everything. So
yeah.
good job.
I spent the thing. Thank you. I spent like the last 10 years in like virtual reality, and like so I didn't pay attention to like my house that was like falling apart and like getting old and all sorts of things and decorating. And that was a big life change I made last year. Was, you know, I did all sorts of things. Started working out more, eating healthier. And then I started working on my house some, and just one by one, I'm trying to do thing after thing and just improve my life because it improves your mental health. And I try to mix it up.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of guitar recently. That's
nice.
That's me getting back into like a more well-balanced life, right? For the last decade, it's been without Parole 24/7, and it's like I can't do that, man. Yeah. I can't do that. The next, if I want without Parole to continue for 10 more years, it's got to be a part of my life, not the entire thing, right? I need to focus on my personal life. I need to focus on the other interests that I have, and so that's kind of my 2026 resolution. So
good. I encourage everybody to do it. You know.
Yeah.
Play the shit out of all these games. But I think last year I talked about this some too. Like I started like reading a lot more and, you know, all sorts of things. I couldn't find any good movies or TV shows, but that's where I ran into anime and started watching anime. And it was like, where has this? I've been watching Naruto, and I fucking love ninjas and the soundtrack.
Look at you not saying it, Naruto. I'm so proud of you.
It took a lot of practice, and I have to think about it really hard before I say it, because I usually do say Naruto. But now I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I just said, but it took a lot of practice, but I'm good at it.
Naruto, just like
Akira,
not Akira.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm being fucking pompous little bitch right now, so just ignore me. I'm just giving you a hard time. I don't care what people say.
Yeah, no, but it's good shit, man. But just mixing in some variety, and then still, of course, playing a bunch of shit too. Believe it.
Infinite Loop says, so Brian's going to start a third YouTube channel where he serenades us with his guitar skills, right? Bro, it's already out there. You just got to find it. I'm just saying. You just got to find it.
Music again, too.
Guys, we got to kick off the show. It's been we're already 15 minutes into the show. We haven't really kicked it off, so let's kick it off with a viewer takeover question from Magnus. Guys, you can leave your viewer takeover question over on our Discord. You should listen. You should already be part of our Discord. Do you know, AJ? Do you know that the cats over on our Discord organized some multiplayer meetups this weekend, Saturday and Sunday? They played Aces of Thunder all weekend long. All weekend.
Hell yeah.
32 players, man. It's like they got a 30. They packed 30 people into a 32 player lobby. Can only imagine how crazy that was. I'm so happy for everybody.
That had to be so much fun. Yeah, I played some more Aces, a little bit more this weekend too, because I'm just like really hooked to it. It's so addictive and it's really challenging to learn, and there's something about it. I mean, you can just spend so much time in it. I compare it a lot to like my first time playing like Battlefield 1942. It's just got this like kind of old school feel to it. That's really nice. But what was the viewer takeover question?
We didn't get there yet. I was just telling people that you can leave the viewer takeover questions. Also, there's a weird delay, so hopefully everyone it's not too bad for the stream, and maybe Discord will get caught up. Who knows? Yeah. So like, listen, there's so many reasons to be part of our Discord for these multiplayer meetups. So you can leave your viewer takeover questions, just like Magnus did. Magnus wrote, "How will AI change VR game development? What do you hope will be the focus for game devs using AI? How can a studio like Flat to VR use AI? What's your uneducated guesstimate on how long before AI makes conversions of Flat games so easy and cheap that basically every game is playable in VR?" AJ, do you have any input on this?
Well, we've already seen how AI can enhance the thing from a technical perspective. Sometimes it can, I don't know. I think the pisser support is pretty good with like No Man's Sky on PS5 Pro. What that did to kind of change, that is one example of AI, like, really actually enhancing the experience. I think especially VR it takes a lot of graphical horsepower to run it, way more. I mean, basically double of what these high end games already do. So it's really difficult. It's like there's the technical hurdle of developing for this thing. It's amazing what some of these games are able to achieve. Like, I say it again, like Aces of Thunder. You look at what that game looks like visually and what's going on, and it's pretty impressive, like how much is actually like in the environment, the draw distance, things like that. Obviously it's still early, but we have the Pisser 2.0 coming. This is, I think the estimate is like around March or something. We're supposed to see it. But yeah, I'd like to see it enhance stuff like resolution, enhance frame rate, things like from a technical perspective. As long as it actually enhances it, I think it could be really nice. But again, it could also backfire and cause some kind of other issues, or there's something to be said about just that native look that's also like high fidelity. Like you can see the difference as well. Sometimes using software technology can cause like artifacting and all sorts of things.
Right. I see a lot of people in the chat that are shitting on AI, and I understand that. Listen, I'm a big fan of artists making art. I'm a big fan of programmers doing programming and coders doing coding. Right? I don't want jobs being taken away from people who are being paid to do a job. That being said, there are massive advancements in AI technology, especially in the gaming space. And, we talk to a lot of developers, man. We talk to a lot of developers behind the scenes. And some of the things I've heard recently are really shocking, right? I think the immediate response from so many people is like, "Oh, I can't do shit," as I just saw in the chat. But I think what this is going to do, it's going to speed things along exponentially. And again, this is all secondhand. I'm hearing this from a handful of developers. Things that used to take months to do can now take minutes to do. And can really start. So one of my big complaints about the industry as a whole right now, not even just the VR industry, is the length of time it takes to develop a game, right? And I say that when you look at somebody like Naughty Dog and like their dev cycles are like 6+ years, it's not sustainable, man. You have like one bad game and suddenly like your whole ship is going down in flames, right? And so studios who are able to take advantage of AI as the technology progresses and start upping their output, right? Like saying, like being able to put out a game every year, every couple years, that kind of thing. That I think that's the hope, right? Not that AI completely takes over, but that AI can assist them in speeding along some of the things that take too long in game development. And I think we're seeing some very promising results early on.
Yeah, I've always been a big believer in like using technology to enhance our lives. It really just kind of depends on who's using it and what they're using it for, how they're using it. So it is important with that context because quite frankly, we've seen already that it can be used in many ways to enhance people's lives, and it can also be used to make it can be used in such stupid ways, like boneheaded ways, where it's like this is actually making things worse because it's being used irresponsibly. And sadly, that's the way it's pretty much everything. When there's something new, it can happen that way. And there's obviously. Yeah, I don't know. What I would just hope to see is it enhance, and enhance the gaming experience in some way. I don't want to see a game that's using AI art. I want to see something that draws real inspiration. Right. What I don't want to see is AI just being used to, make money real quick and just really just not good things like that, which we're already seeing, of course, in many, many ways, and sucks. But we're seeing some of the good things, the way that it's used in a really good way as well. Like I said, like the enhanced resolution, things like that. What if it could help developers develop their game? I think it should be really used in a way to like empower developers to be able to achieve some of their things, like you said, and speed it up too. Like, what if it could cut 3-4 year dev cycles down to 2 years, or like, you know, cut that in half without like sacrificing, you know, the kind of what's the word for it, just integrity of the game or whatever, the product. It would be nice. It's kind of wishful thinking in some way, but it's also not unrealistic either.
Yeah. I mean, I would never want to replace artists. I would never want to replace, script writers, people who have stories that they want to tell. I don't want to see replacing any of that. He's got to be careful. We got to be careful with it, and hopefully there's some kind of regulation coming, because right now it's kind of the Wild West, and I think we're getting into really dangerous places with it.
Apparently, my audio is out of sync, and I'm looking like AI right now. This is. I'm actually taking over the show as an AI being. This isn't actually AJ. Should I reconnect real quick?
I was going to say this. Hold on one second. Let me switch over to the hold screen, and we can give it a shot. Go ahead, man. Try to disconnect and reconnect.
Okay, and I'm back.
Okay, hold on a second. I think you're back in sync too. Let's see.
Sorry, humans.
You're all good.
I apologize for the inconvenience, but this is totally AJ and not AI. Human friends, it is me.
It is funny how close AJ and AI are in terms of letters in the alphabet.
New conspiracy.
Anyway, I think Magnus brings up a lot of good points in his viewer takeover question, and right now I think a lot of it's just all the answers you can give are just spitballing, just guessing. Like I said, there's been a lot of good developments, but I think anybody who knows what the future will hold with AI is. Again, we're all just guessing.
You will address me as AIJ now.
What if I just spell AIJ? What if I just pronounce it and go AJ? IJ. Okay, we got Superliminal the Game Cat with the $6.66 tip. He says, wanted to thank all the cats in Ace's wing of the Discord. In the Ace's wing of the Discord, I'm way less frustrated, having more fun than I could without you all. Dude, it is not an easy game to get into, and I, like I said on Friday's show, I'm so happy that some more experienced flight sim people were around in our Discord, really helping out people like me and a lot of the other cats who this is kind of our first sim, or even the closest thing we've had to a sim, right? And I think it's been immensely helpful. And has made the learning process more fun when people are there to kind of to help you along, right? We got rid of all the people who were being critical of all of us noobs, right? And those people are just ruining a good time. And so I'm really happy that everyone who's left is just all about having a good time and letting people who want to learn at their own pace learn at their own pace. It's pretty cool, man. This is a moment, I think, for the PSVR2 community. Just like I think Gran Turismo was a moment, right? It's like that. I was like, I'm never going to get into a sim racer, and then Gran Turismo was like, yes, you are, right now. And I was like, okay,
yeah. I went from the same thing, just like being like not super. Well, I don't know. I mean, I've kind of always liked Gran Turismo and stuff. I've never been like a hardcore sim racer, but it did. Like I started going to like racing events in real life and stuff. Like it definitely had an impact on me that way.
This is actually a really good transition into one of our topics here, and that's that some of the complaints we've had about Ace of Thunder being like there's really no onboarding at all. It is just like you get into the game and it's like even taking off is challenging, right? If you've never done this before. And so and it sounds like Gaijin Entertainment is listening. And there's some updates over on their website, isn't there, AJ?
That is right, Brian. They had posted on 2 days ago. They posted on a their own like news forum on their website. It says, answering your questions. Thank you for your interest in Aces of Thunder. We're keeping an eye on comments on social media, discussion threads, and Steam reviews. Please keep posting them here. We'll answer the most common questions we've seen. And they did go through and answer some of these here. I don't know if you want to like read through all of these or what, but they did answer some of the questions and topics that people are been mentioning. And first of all, let's just say that it is awesome that they're doing this, that they're having this kind of transparency. Now that the game is out, I feel like they did a really good job. And yes, I do feel like there's still room for improvement with the game in many, many ways. And they tackle a couple of the common things here. But we always love to see when developers are do stuff like this and listen to the community, take in community feedback, and use that to improve the overall experience and try to get more people involved with their game.
Yeah, I mean, they kick it off with one of my major complaints. They say, will there be a way to use the menus with only HOTAS in VR? Is there a way of avoid using VR hand controllers, sense controllers, to access the in-game menu? They said, blah, 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 blah. We're working to make this a possibility, right? They're saying it was actually something they had in place before the game came out, and then due to some bugs, they had to remove it, and they're working to get it back up and running. So that's good news.
Yeah. That is a big one because it is annoying as hell to switch between the HOTAS and just constantly. It's a bad quality of life issue that needs to be addressed for sure. That would be a high priority. But they say the most urgent issues to fix are VR haptic feedback and disabling the toggle grip mode, how you grab and release with your hand. They said both options are available in the comfort settings and control settings. So they if they're enabled but don't work, blah blah blah. So they're actually addressing some of the things that people think aren't in the game or are an issue. And yeah, it is weird that I think the haptics are disabled by default. That is kind of strange. That's not something you would think that would be off by default. But it's in there and they address it there. Do you think the current level of simulation, no propeller, RPM control, radiators, final, are there plans to deepen? And they do mention that we're not trying to make a study level simulator, where they are trying to balance simulator and just fun, accessible gameplay.
Right. And these are the things that I think, the people who are saying, well, it's not as simmy as it could be. These are the kind of things that they feel like it's missing. And it's good to hear from them about what their position on this game is and what it's supposed to be. So that works.
Yeah, I really appreciate the simulation elements of it, but I do think that there could be options, right? We've always preached options. If you want to reach more people, you do want to, there were times where I'm I wish this game was just a little bit more arcadey, just a little bit. But at the same time, I do kind of appreciate its hardcore elements as well. They talk about other things like key binding, plans to they've got plans in place to redo some of the key binding. They also say to let them know what you think would be best. Let's see. And then of course one of the big ones, there's a bunch of other ones here, but I think the big one here is that they're talking about a tutorial that they want to make. And they said, are you considering adding a tutorial to help new players learn the controls and gameplay basics? I know this is probably one of the biggest things that people were asking for. And they said implementing a truly good immersive tutorial for a VR project has proven much more difficult due to technical engine constraints. So it isn't in the game yet. We're working on it. We hope that once it's in, Aces of Thunder will be more accessible to less experienced virtual pilots.
Yeah, this is so important. Right? Whereas Gran Turismo gets super simmy, but they give you so many different training wheels in order to get you on the path to enjoying a full sim experience. This just throws you kind of right in, and I do think that if they allow you to kind of go through training missions and kind of tackle one element of the game at a time, and just give you a better understanding of how planes work and how you need to fly them in order to not end up in a tailspin, or what to do if you do end up in a tailspin, all sorts of scenarios they could create in a training mode, so that when you encounter them in game, you know what to do. So this is I think one of the most important things they need to add.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, especially for some of those additional functions, like the tutorial for maybe like taking off. Yeah, like Gran Turismo, you have like license tests that you can take, and it literally will be like a really short. Here's how to turn, and here's how to make a wider turn, and here's how to make a sharper turn, and little things like that, like a little sectioned off slice of the game like that would go a long way with this. Stuff like shooting missiles or ejecting from the airplane, things like that. Most of the stuff I've figured out by now, but still for new players, it's like definitely a steep learning curve that it could really, really help a lot of people.
The rest of these seem like little bugs and stuff that they're working on. Nothing too crazy. The one I do want to bring up is the one that says, "Why is the frame rate low on my system?" I'm going to guarantee you that this has more to do with the PC side of things than anything else, because even though I did test it on my PlayStation 5, my base unit, and my Pro, both perform admirably. Right, the base PS5 only in some really, really graphically intense areas where there's like a lot of different ground variety and a lot of different like waters and rivers and ships and planes flying over, does it stutter. And then and even then it's not even bad. It's pretty subtle. And I think people, at this point you probably know if you're like me or not, and you pick up on these small frame rate drops. On the Pro, absolutely stable. So I'm guessing this does relate more to the PC side of things than anything else.
Definitely. I mean, I was so sad that I couldn't join you last Monday for the show to kind of talk about this, because I've played this game on PC for like a year and a half. I did cover it a lot on like my Thursday show and talked about it some, but I was just really impressed with like how this game like looks and runs better in many ways on my PS5 than it does my PC. And I have a powerful PC, and this game is both sharper as well as seems to run a little smoother. Like I get like little hitches here and there on the PC side, and it's just like hours of tinkering to probably hammer it out. Maybe it'll still even be there, but it's just this is the beauty of basically everything I was hoping that would happen with this game, that I went in like cautiously optimistic about. This game ended up delivering, which was really nice, because it's like just plug and play. The HOTAS works. You don't have to remap the whole HOTAS, although it has a couple things that are probably better if you remap. But I played it with the HOTAS for the first time on PS5 because I wasn't going to sit there for like 30, 45 minutes and map the HOTAS controls on PC. That's bullshit. To me, that's not a fun gaming experience. This is why I've always been like a console gamer, because a little bullshit like this, where it's just like, I don't want to spend all the time doing this. Like I just, sometimes I don't know. No, it's just so much better when you do all that work and it's still not, and invest all that time and money into that hardware, and it's still not as good as just the plug and play PS5.
Yeah, and as far as like optimization on PlayStation 5 and especially the Pro is just bonkers good. And this is what I love about being a console gamer. This is what I love. So when I hear like when Bootstrap Island got announced coming to PSVR2.
Excited about that one.
The PC gamers were out in full force being like, ain't no way it's going to run good on PSVR2. It barely runs good on my 2090. I'm making up graphics cards now. Right. And it's like, well, yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, like it's gonna run fine on PSVR2 because it's one set of specs to optimize for, and the Aces proves it. I think Microsoft Flight Sim will prove it as well, and this is what I love. It's like we just, say what you want about the price of the PS5, but it's way cheaper than a PC, and with using DFR and everything else that comes along for the ride with PSVR2 and PlayStation 5. We have ways to optimize things that you just can't on PC. And so,
especially with the way that like how expensive graphics cards and components are getting right now, it's like it's really never been a better time to get a PS5 and PSVR2 and jump in with this and have just a seamless experience. You don't have as much time as you used to tinker with all this shit, and it's like, yeah, just at some point you got to stop wasting your time and just jump in and play, enjoy games.
Tatum's in the chat complaining that me wearing a My Chemical Romance hat is causing his My Chemical Romance prices to go up too high, and can't afford to bring the whole family, which is understandable. We got hold on, just want to make sure we get the right one. We got VR Joe, the Hoosier Game Cat, with the $5 tip. What's up, Joe?
Go, Joe. What?
Nothing. Just wanted to make you feel awkward. He said, played High on Life and thought this would be perfect in VR. Love you guys. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Joe. High on Life, dude, it's Squanch Games, right? And prior to High on Life, they did Trover. They
Saves the Universe.
Yeah, they did Accounting Plus, right? And it's like, so they were a studio that was obviously a fan of VR for a little bit there. And then when High on Life got announced and shown off, it was like, wow, this looks like your most VR game yet. And then no VR support. And I think this is kind of a victim of what a lot of developers have been saying recently about Sony, right? A lot of these smaller third-party companies are really kind of upset that, hey, during the PSVR 1 era, Sony was giving us lots of money to port our game over, right? So there was no fear that we were going to lose money on bringing it over to VR. But now there is a fear. Now there's this fear that they're going to spend $60,000 bringing the game over, and they're not going to sell $60,000 of VR versions, right? It's like it could just be an absolute waste of time and money on their end. So it is a little bit sad.
Microsoft gave them that Game Pass money is what happened. Mm-hmm. Believe it.
I don't know. Yeah. We also got Darth Vader the Gamecat with the $10. Says, being a part of this community, he left the space out. Being a part of this community for 5+ years has been absolutely incredible, making some amazing friends and cherishing some great memories. I love all of you. Wait, what is this word? Also, the word was also. Please, Blade and Sorcery at State of Play. Oh,
that'd be cool.
State of Play. You want to talk about State of Play? Since
yes.
Vader brought it up.
I love you, Lord Vader. Love you too, Lord Vader.
As we said, as I said the other day, we don't need a fucking leaker to tell us that there was going to be a State of Play on February 12th.
The same time there is every year.
Last year, and the year before, and the year before that. And then, all these fucking people out there calling themselves leakers. It's like, yeah, bro, I could have leaked that shit. It's always at the same time every year. If you have a calendar, you're a leaker. I think that's what we've
established a baseline after a couple of years.
So listen, but it is official now. It is happening. It is coming this week. It is on February 12th. I'm going to read through the blog post real quick here, AJ, and then I want to hear your thoughts based on what we read. I don't think there's anything crazy here. I haven't read this, so maybe there is something crazy. This is from Tim Turry, Content Communication Manager, Sony IE. Says, tune in live this Thursday for 60 minutes of news, gameplay updates, and announcements from game studios across the globe. You can tell Tim Turry's not a flat earther. It says February State of Play will spotlight eye-catching third-party and indie games headed to PS5 along with the latest from teams at PlayStation Studios. State of Play broadcast live February 12th, blah, 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 blah. We'll see you then. That's the end of the story. Me and my live events co-host, Jammy Hero, will be doing this right here on Without Parole if you guys want to watch with us. What do you think, AJ? What do you think of this announcement? Anything to be concerned about? Anything exciting from the few sentences that they gave us?
This seems pretty exciting to me. There's the first things first, 60 plus minutes.
That's long.
Over an hour-long show. Yep. Right there is pretty exciting. That means they've been sitting on some stuff for a minute. And they have a lot to show off now. It mentions third parties. It mentions indies. It even mentions some of the latest from teams at PlayStation Studios. So it's a little bit of a mix of everything, which I think is pretty exciting just to see where PlayStation is at. Was it last year it's been such a change up in leadership over there. It's been like a roller coaster for the past couple of years, and it'll be interesting to see. This is kind of, I think, like the new regime, kind of like finally had like a year to kind of prepare for all this and do this. So, when was the last State of Play? They've done a couple for a while, but I have a prediction. I have a prediction.
It's prediction time, guys. Everyone who keeps track of this stuff, get out your pen and paper. Let's go.
Even though they don't mention PSVR2, guys, before that same person leaves that same comment again, just a heads up, they haven't mentioned PSVR2 in the last 5 State of Play blog posts. But there will definitely be PSVR 2 here. And if not, I will shut down my channel, Brian. Like, as a bet.
We finally found a way to make it happen. Okay. For the first time ever, I'm hoping for no PSVR 2. No, I am kidding. Obviously.
Maybe we'll do a pizza bet. I will pizza bet you that there will be PSVR 2 here. At least 2 games. At least 2.
Two seems to be the going rate. The last time we got less than 2 was this past State of Play where they announced Microsoft Flight Simulator for PSVR 2, and it's like, dude, you only need 1 game if you're going to go that big with it. So like you said, they have not specifically called out PSVR 2 in any of these State of Play announcements for literally the last 4, I think. And so I'm 100% confident we're going to see PSVR 2 stuff. The fact that it's 60 minutes or over 60 minutes means they're certainly not cutting stuff out for time, right? This may actually feel a little bloated. I don't know if they can keep up the normal pace of their State of Plays for 60 minutes. I'm a little bit worried, AJ, that they might do like a deep dive, like 15 minutes of this might be taken up with 1 game. And if that's the case, I just hope they don't do it. I just hope they don't do that because it's always so boring.
I said that wrong. I didn't mean like I would shut my channel down like out of like disappointment or anything. I meant like I would bet my channel on it that there will be PSVR 2 here. Like as long
as you shut it down, no one cares why. Okay.
The chat disagrees with you, Brian.
Results are all that matter.
And the chat's always right. You know this.
No, listen, I worked at a restaurant for 20 years. The one thing we always learned was that the customer is not always right, but they are still the chat.
Oh man.
Listen, I think I would guarantee you we see at least 2, like you said, 2 minimum PSVR 2 games. Although I got to say, man, in my head, I'm thinking a 3. I'm thinking a 3.
A 3 for.
Yep. And so I think if I'm going to put some pizza bets down, I'm going to go to bat for 3.
Ooh,
and
okay.
One of them will be a port of a PC or Quest game. One of them will be Secret of the Mimic. Because it's been too long. It's been too long since we've seen that, and we need
canceled.
No, you think it's you are crazy. You do think it's canceled. We went through this with Aces of Thunder. Guess what? That wasn't canceled either.
What? No, we didn't.
No, I'm just making shit up. Listen. No one's got a fact check. No one cares about facts anymore. We live in a world where if I say something, it's just automatically true. No one's gonna do the effort and like go look this shit up. Right?
You're right.
Right. So and then I think
which is why I have to just be louder and angrier than you, and I'll be more right.
That's how it works. That is how this works. So listen, and this is I'm not putting pizza bet on what the announcements are going to be, but I'll put a pizza bet on how many there will be, and that's 3. And like I said, a port of a PC VR Quest game, Secret of the Mimic, and with a release date, and this is the one that we all want. But there's no way to know. This is the time for them to say that
Aces of Thunder trailer.
Requiem is getting
release date. Aces of Thunder release date. You heard it here first. It's finally happening, you guys.
I thought it shadow dropped during the show. Is that not how this works?
Oh yeah.
Right. Now let's ride the game feel line. Says Bloody Hell Hotel. What happened to that one? No. Bloody Hell Hotel is. Listen, the game's not even coming out until late 2026, and then they're going to get to work on the VR stuff. So I think Bloody Hell Hotel at this point is 2027. Honestly, 2027. They're taking their time. They're getting it right. Fucking great. Somebody in the chat said Slender. You know what? That's
not going up on here. Ain't no way that's going on a State of Play.
No, I think we're going to get that in late September. I honestly think that Perp is probably just holding on to it and releasing it during the spooky season, because releasing it earlier would be kind of silly. And so
how many years have you been saying that now?
7. So yeah, but I like, again, this is the time to announce Requiem that's coming to PSVR 2. We will see if we have done any good in this world, AJ. We'll see if us making a lot of noise has changed anything. And no promises, but that is I think that would be the ultimate State of Play for us. I think it would be excellent.
Yeah, I mean that's like the biggest thing you could possibly do. It would be amazing. And this would be like, this would be the time for this to happen if it's going to happen. This would definitely be it. And all, just shout out to like, you and everybody out there that's been making as much noise as possible, no matter what. At the end of the day, there was definitely people that at least saw you and heard you at the very least. And, anything is a positive in that regard. Would it be as good as actually getting it? No, but it still was a good cause to fight for, and it would make a difference. And yeah, this would be a wonderful place for this to be announced. But I don't know. I feel like there's really could be anything. I don't think Slender, something like that would show up here. I feel like there'd be something new and surprising. Something, just whether it be like an indie game that they've funded or bringing out, or I don't know. There could be like Microsoft Flight Simulator is huge. That's a really, really big one. Maybe you could get a release date for that. I mean, but honestly, at this point, I don't think I'd really care for like a release date for that so much as just another game be announced. Like that'd be cool. It's the biggest stage that PlayStation has right now, virtual stage. And because they don't do any like in-person things. Well, I guess they do some stuff, but I don't know. I feel like there would just be Sony's going to do what Sony's going to do. And that's what we've kind of learned is like whether that be good or bad, like they're going to do it and we're going to react to it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I am very, very proud of this community. I'm very, very proud of everybody banding together. I think, with the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who actually, sirens on my end, who decided instead of complaining about what we're not getting, they decided to make their voice heard and banded together and flooded, Twitter comment section, flooded the comment section of the PlayStation blog post. We got hundreds. I mean, like we got close to 1,000. I say we close to 1,000. It was like 750, but we'll round up.
It's pretty close.
Right. And so, they definitely hurt us, and whether they do anything about it, that's another story altogether. But this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, and we decided to tackle a really, really big game right off for one of our first Gamecat Ops. However, AJ, the thing that I think some people missed was that the reason Gamecat Ops came around to begin with was because there was this flat screen game called Unmourned that got announced, right? And everybody looked at the trailer and we were like, hey, this looks really good. This looks really scary. This looks like kind of another Madison. And on a GAMESCAST, we said, hey, let's go flood that developer's Discord and tell them how great their game looks and how much we'd love a PSVR2 version. And they were very early to respond, right? Unlike a lot of different studios who are like, well, we'll see what happens after our Quest launch. We'll see what happens after this launch, or we'll see what, there's a lot of studios saying that right now when we reach out and say, please, 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 PSVR2 version. They say, well, maybe, right? Or there's no plans right now. We'll see what happens later. These guys right away were like, man, there's been a lot of requests for a VR version. We'll look into it. And then here we are a couple months later, they've announced a VR version. This is the first game. This is the first unofficial Gamecat Ops game, right? Before we called it Gamecat Ops, before we get really organized. And then on Friday, a listing on the PlayStation Store for Unmourned VR went up. And I think that's absolutely crazy. I think this could technically be our first win.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like you said, with Resident Evil 9, that is like one of the hardest things to try and achieve, make our voices heard for. Like I said, at the very least, you should be proud of how much effort everybody put in, and somebody definitely saw it at the very least. The reason that was such a focus, even to begin with, is because of the timing, right? That game is getting ready to release. We want to strike while the iron's hot. That typically wouldn't be like one of the most realistic expectations of that actually being accomplished that we would have. But it's like, if we're going to fight for it, like right now is the time. So we will have to wait and see Thursday. But I've said over and over, what I'm looking forward to is, it would be as amazing, what's going to happen beyond that. Because when you start to get to these smaller studios, these lesser known games, I think that's really where the Gamecat Ops are going to have the biggest impact. We saw it with V-Racer. We saw it with Legendary Tales. We saw it with a couple other things, Arcanage. And these are studios that when the community gets behind, they can actually like find tons of success and growth and eventually evolve into, you know, the games that we are trying to get on the platform. And Unmourned, with Unmourned VR popping up, damn, dude, like that trailer alone was scary as hell.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good. But Brian, there is a demo for Unmourned
the flat screen version.
The flat screen version that you and I both played to talk about the game a little bit here today.
Yeah, we did indeed. And just to let you guys know, I did touch base with the developer on Friday night of Unmourned VR, and just was like, hey, congratulations! Like you guys announced it. This is crazy. Like this is actually happening. And they're like, yeah, it's actually happening. Like we couldn't ignore the cries. And just a heads up, it's gonna be a little bit. Right, like they need to get their flat screen version done, and that game is not out and on the platform yet. And then they're going to focus on the VR version. And so I did tell them I want to make myself available to you guys. If you have any questions about what PSVR2 gamers are looking for, what they want, you need a port studio, please let me know. I'm here to hook you up with people that can help you out. Right, it's one thing I have after years and years of doing this. It's fucking contacts. Right, lots of contacts that are all doing great stuff. And so I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this one and making sure that these guys, there's no confusion as to what we're looking for. So so it's probably going to be a little bit. It with any luck, it'll be out late 2026, right? But I don't think they're even ready to commit to that release window yet. That being said, yeah, we checked out the demo, and right off the bat, One of the first things I noticed was how
where are the drugs going?
How immersive they wanted to make this thing, right? Like you don't just walk up to a door and you hit X, or you don't just walk up to a set of drawers and hit X to open it. You walk up and then you hold down the right trigger and then you use the analog stick to open it as quickly or as slowly as you want to, right? So they're already, even on the flat screen, they're looking at how can we make this as immersive as possible and give the player control over exactly what they're doing. And so that was a great first impression. But you talk to me, man. I want to hear what your first impression was.
Yeah. So my first thought when playing this was the execution of the VR implementation is going to be really important, because I can see so many ways where if this is not like carefully implemented in certain ways, I mean, it starts out with like a cutscene, and it's like, okay, so is that going to be like cinematic screen, like 3D cinema screen, which hopefully it wouldn't be, or do they, put you in kind of like Resident 8 style, where they put your head on the camera and just kind of move you around with the movements, things like that. There's a lot of little important things here and there that they're going to have to, be careful about and implement well. But if they do, then like you said, a lot of the things could actually already be in place. A lot of the pieces could be in place to make this actually a pretty interactive and immersive VR game versus just, some of the sacrifices you have to sometimes make when converting a flat game into VR.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing, right? There are many, many times, even during the demo, where it does take control away from the player, and that's fine. That is fine. But yeah, I do think that if it cuts to a 2D cinematic, instead of leaving you in the game, I think that would be detrimental. There's also a lot of visual effects that they used in here. Like I turned off the motion blur and anything I could turn off, but they do use heavy depth of field effects, meaning that like something like certain things are in focus while other things are very, very much out of focus intentionally. And I don't know how that works in VR. Right, I just don't know if that will translate very well, and so I don't know if they have to change anything in order to I don't know, like to make you focus on the things they want you to focus on, or how that's all going to work. But man, listen, I got to get right to the point here. I have not played a game on my television in the longest time. right? I have not just sat down and played a game on my television. I take my Switch 2 to bed with me, and I play in handheld mode, right? So flat screen games, that tends to be how I play them. Same with Steam Deck or the Portal or whatever. Sitting on my couch and playing a flat screen game, I was like, this is going to be so boring. Because normally if I'm going to play a game, I'm going to play it in VR. And man, I was tense. I was tense during this. This game is all about staying in the light, right? Constantly knowing where light switches are in order to, like, if a ghost or whatever shuts a light off, you have this meter in the bottom right-hand screen that's basically your sanity meter. And you don't want to be in the dark too long, or like crazy shit starts happening. You start hallucinating, and then the ghost, whatever it is, the demon, comes after you, and that's and so it's very, very tense. Always running around, running toward a light switch, turning it on as soon as possible, letting that sanity meter return to normal if you're in a room with lights on. I like this. It's not the first time I've seen it in a game, but I do like this. I do like this mechanic.
I love the creativity of it. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not the most original, but I do love the kind of mechanics of it. Like you said, you're walking, or you're slowly kind of exploring these rooms, and they're constantly like fucking with you in many, many ways, and you have to kind of you're panicking, looking for the light switch, because if you're in the dark for too long, it's got this eyeball symbol that will like indicate that you're starting to lose your, what is it? Your sanity. And then there's also the red ring for like your stress. I'm like, oh, that's great. The mechanics in this game are stress and sanity. Like, that's pretty cool. But yeah, and you're walking around, you're flipping the switch, and then you take like 3 steps forward, and then what happens? It goes, and it turns the switch off, and you're like, oh, you son of a bitch. And you panic and you run back, you look for the light switch on the wall that you can barely see, and you flip it again, and then you turn around, and then the room's changed or some shit. Like, there's a lot. It's got a lot of the stuff that you've talked about that would be really cool, that a lot of like games, I think not many games have like really perfected this yet, which is, you being in VR, you turn around, you turn one way, and then you look back, and then like the room has changed or something. Like, I think Madison did this well. Other than Madison, like, I don't really know like a lot of other games, but it was pretty scary, man. The ghosts, like, the ghosts or whatever are pretty scary in this. And graphically, like, it looks pretty good. It looks very Madison quality graphics, very realistic, like heavily realistic. And yeah, it's like, this is definitely one of there's not a lot of horror games that get me like really excited, because most of them aren't like just like pure horror, really scary. But this is definitely up there. Like, this has a lot of potential. And like I said, a lot of it comes down to the execution of it. You're talking about, how do you convert, some of the stuff is kind of self-explanatory. Like you said, you click and slowly drag the doors open. It's like, yeah, that actually makes perfect sense for a VR hand, where you grab the door and pull it open. And then, flipping the light switch, things like that. But then how do you implement stuff while keeping the immersion, like the sanity meter? Do you, it's hard to do like visual keys, like the screen going red as you do that. That gets actually more annoying sometimes than actually helping. But you have stuff like the haptics in the headset, or the headset rumble, where, you start to lose your sanity, that like, the rumble in the headset starts to get more and more intense, kind of like the way Madison did it. They did a wonderful job of kind of implementing some of those features there. And yeah, I think if they execute it well, then it could be potentially like a really, really good, like one of the top like horror games on the platform, no doubt. And, I don't know how much flat screen audience is like even paying attention to this, but I know over here, there's a lot of people that would be pretty excited about it.
I saw Corey in the chat asking if you get a gun in this game, and my feeling from what we've played is that you probably don't. Right?
I don't know what use it would do for you.
it doesn't seem like that kind of game, to be honest with you. It seems more like a game about being, managing your own sanity, and as long as you take care of that, like, then the demon will stay away from you. And so, yeah. But he does bring up a good question, and the question is like I don't actually know what to expect from this game at all. right? Like I think I probably played the demo for an hour, and that's because I died a couple times, and I kind of stumbled around a few times, being like, I'm not sure where to go next. There's like a button that tells you what your objective is, and I never had an objective, and so it's kind of like I'm just going to wander around until I trigger something. So it felt a little walking simmy. It also felt a little like there's I think the left trigger did the PT thing where you like examine something, you zoom in on what you're looking at, but that didn't seem to do anything or trigger anything. There was so many drawers and doors to open right away, and then it seemed like we only let you. They were all empty, but then on top of that, none of the drawers later on were accessible, right? And so I thought I was going to be going through this and exploring every single drawer and looking for things in every single piece of furniture that I could, and then you're not able to open drawers eventually, and so I don't know where this game is going. There's also that save room or the safe room where you walk in and it says, hey, all the collectibles you find are going to be stored here. And don't worry, this is a good place to restore your sanity. You won't be, the demon can't attack you here. But in the demo, I don't think there's any collectibles. Did you find any? Like, it seemed like I was looking for things to interact with, objects to pick up, that kind of stuff. And there was none of that. So I'm still confused about how walking sim the full game is going to feel.
Yeah, it's kind of walking sim. It's kind of puzzly because you're not like actually solving puzzles, but it's like puzzle survival because you're trying to manage your sanity, and there's a lot of environmental storytelling because there's like the notebook on that table in the basement or whatever, and you're like you're writing and you're kind of letting the story unfold, and that also kind of tells you what to do next. And where to go next. And I think there are like a couple hints here and there, but it will tell you like through the storytelling as to where to go next and kind of what's going on. And I think it's intentionally kind of supposed to be kind of mysterious, and you discover it. It's that mystery and that horror that is like really nice combining together. But I think it could be kind of like walking simmy. It's not going to be like action packed. It's going to be maybe not even as like deep as puzzles as like Madison, but it's more just like it's almost more like Here They Lie kind of. It reminded me of, and it had some like kind of trippy sequences as well. Where it's kind of walking sim, but it's like this like engaging like storytelling, environmental storytelling, and very interactive, and like I said, it has a lot of potential here. It seemed really cool from what I played so far.
Yeah. And I don't know how much of this is going to take place indoors, if it's all going to be mostly in the same house. I mean, obviously there's a little bit of time traveling going on here, even in the demo. But the frame rate on the PS5 is great, super silky smooth, and I really do hope that translates over to VR. The fact that it is so indoorsy, and with any luck, they'll be able to utilize DFR to keep up the frame rate. Hope this thing should be running at 90 native. It's not as much as I can understand the comparisons that you made to Madison, being like, oh, it's inside this house and it's like going for photorealism. I don't think it's quite at the level of Madison. And so, no. I do hope they consider this, that like, hey, if Madison, was able to do it 90 frames native and our game isn't quite up to that level, hopefully they can also do it 90 frames native just to increase the immersion.
It did get me with a really bad jump scare. It got me with a couple smaller scares, but there was one jump scare in the entire, what was it, like a 30-minute demo, something like that.
It took me an hour because I take so long to do anything. I take my time with all this shit. I explore every corner. I backtrack. I don't listen to instructions. You know me.
It may have taken me more like 45 minutes, but in that, we'll just say 45 minutes. Yeah, it had one jump scare that got me so bad. And this was the kind of jump scare where it wasn't just like I jumped. It was like it both scared me, and I had like, it sent like chills all over me. Yeah. Like it was like just like skin tingling up and down head to toe. And it was pretty good. It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I think it got me a few times too, and more than anything, it had me on edge. And you'll see there's one right there. For whatever reason, there's windows inside this house, Like, I
Oh my
don't,
God.
is this a structural thing? Like, is this a design choice that was made at a certain point, like turn of the century or something in houses that I haven't seen? Like, is this common somewhere where there's
Like,
just windows inside a house that lead from one room to another? Because that's
it's kind
creepy
of
to
weird.
me.
Yeah, it's like a window in the bathroom to the like looks over the hallway. Like, what? Why?
Right, in case anyone wants to watch me take a dump, here we go. Like, but no, it does. Right?
You see the bidet in action.
But there's windows that in rooms that lead to other parts of the house, and for me that's extra scary because it's like usually when you're in a room and it's just four walls, it's like okay, but now there's this other place that you have to kind of keep an eye on because it's like, oh, now what if somebody walks by over there? What if I see an enemy? What if it's a good design choice. I don't know if it reflects, like I said, some kind of architectural period that I'm unfamiliar with, or if it's just for this house to make it even more unsettling because who has windows inside?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it could have just been used for that sequence or something. I don't even remember if that window is always there or if it was just for that sequence. Think about that.
I don't know.
Maybe it wasn't there at all, which is possible. But yeah, they do lots of little creepy things that Don't Knock Twice did that I really like. Using the kind of environment, using the atmosphere, doors going or windows sliding up and down and, seeing little things pop out here and there. You see something move and you're like, what was that? Yeah. They throw all this little stuff here and there. And
my own footage just scared me.
Great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more on this. I hope that, the developers listen to some feedback on this in terms of implementing the VR port, because it could be like, if they don't do it right, it could really make it rough and nobody would enjoy it. But they have a really good foundation to make a really good VR game here. Yeah.
People in the chat are telling me this is very common in they said it's a British thing. I think, yeah, Scott the PSVR Gamecat for Life says it's a British thing. Shapeshifter says it's for air ventilation. Which
why is there a window? Why is there a glass window?
There's no way to know.
That's what isn't that what a vent is for?
Yeah, listen, you got me, man. You got me. I guess I'm trying to think like. Okay. I was trying to think of all the houses I've ever lived in and the rooms that would actually benefit from this. And I guess there might be an example or two, but yeah, I don't know. I've just never seen it here, which is crazy. Yeah, listen, here's what I love about this. What I love about this is that the developers haven't even released their flat screen game yet. Even at the beginning of the demo, they say, hey, this is the demo. This isn't even the final version of the game, right? And so my guess is that some of those drawers that I wasn't able to open, during the demo, I'm guessing that you probably will be able to open some of those in the game. And who knows, the controls and the gameplay could be refined between now and then. And then, of course, they'll probably listen to feedback after launch and refine the gameplay even further, refine what, maybe the pacing or what happens, objectives, that kind of stuff. And then, once that's all taken care of, then we'll get the most refined version of it in VR. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
This would have been a cool state of play VR announcement.
That's true.
But I'll take it. I'll take this plus something else, but I'll also take a VR trailer. They're like, surprise, we actually have a trailer ready for this in VR.
Yeah, for sure. AJ, speaking of games that we should be getting VR modes for, there is a game that I think, I don't know, man, maybe needs some of our attention. Over on Twitter, I was seeing that the developer of Super Polygon Grand Prix just got dropped by his publisher. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this game, here's a trailer for it. It looks a lot. It looks like somebody grew up like I did playing Virtua Racer, and it was very familiar with the fact that Virtua Racer is a fucking shallow game, right? There's nothing to it. It doesn't matter if you're playing the arcade version, you're playing the Saturn version, the 32X version, the Sega Genesis version. It doesn't matter what version you're playing. There's no progression. There's only a handful of tracks. There's a couple different cars, right? It is an arcade game. And this guy was like, obviously has some nostalgia for it. And it said, I want to make an actual full-fledged racing game that that tugs at the heartstrings for all those people out there like me who have all this nostalgia for virtual racing. This one has 40 tracks, right? Lots of cars, right? My hope is that it has a good progression system. He's going to drop by his publisher, and this game is coming to PS5 and PS4 too, I think, and Steam. And after saying that he could drop by his publisher, he says, well, time to focus on the VR version. And so I think we gotta reach out to this guy. We gotta hit him up over on Twitter or anywhere else you can find him. I think it's Roz Games, ROZZ, and let him know. Like, if you're like me and you have nostalgia for this stuff and like you love another racing game in VR, right? And especially an arcade racer, we just really don't have enough of those. We have like Galaxy Kart, which is great, right? But we need more. We need more, and this would be amazing with a racing rig. Right? Talk about AJ. Did you ever play virtual racing in the arcade?
Yeah, that's where I mostly played it.
Yeah, I just remember how cool it was the first time I ever saw it. Like, just blown away by the way that it looked. He's playing it, and now we've got racing wheels, we've got VR headsets. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of what we always dreamed for this. So, yeah, we need to let him know how important a PSVR2 version is. Yeah,
the guy has like expressed. I've been kind of like following this game from afar, like, and the guy's always expressed interest in having some VR mode and some curiosity as to that, and I think it'd be a really cool thing to experience, in VR. I don't know if it would count as like a really deep experience, but it'd be at least a very memorable and fun one, it seems like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, I don't know. There's, I hope he. With him having the publisher drop, like, yeah, I don't know. That's just like, that's going to make it harder to come to platforms like this. Like, I feel like this is going to go maybe the PC route first. And if gets VR support, goes to like VR PC, see how it does there. I don't know how well it will do over there. And I don't know. It seems like a tough road to get to PSVR 2 at this point, but it could eventually.
So I would normally agree with you that, getting games on the PSVR 2 is difficult, right? Because it's
especially without a publisher.
Well, especially without a publisher so I have so many questions for this guy, because he says he doesn't need a publisher for Steam, which you don't, but no. He says but he needs one for console, and yes, but you don't. You can self-publish on the PlayStation Store now, and so from what I've heard, the only reason you would want a publisher on PlayStation is to is like, I mean, I guess like they could help with the port if one doesn't exist yet, or marketing, or just kind of like knowing the ins and outs of the PlayStation Store, as we all know is a goddamn mess. And games, that's why games get accidentally launched before they're ready and all sorts of crazy shit, because people don't know how to publish on Sony. But it doesn't mean you can't do it. You can do it on your own. And there are plenty, and from what I've seen, the development community has been really, really great. And so I think if you just reached out to somebody who said, "Hey, can you help me through this so I don't have to get a publisher?" I think a lot of developers would be very, very willing to help him out. So I want him to know. I did reach out to him. I haven't heard back yet. That it's not the end of the world if you don't have a publisher on console. You can absolutely do this yourself. And if he already has a dev kit, right? Because clearly he does. Because there was a store listing for this game earlier today, and it was a very confusing store listing. It looked like it was a PlayStation 4 game, and only once you really delved into the accessibility options and some of the more minute details did you see nomenclature for DualSense support. And you're like, oh, this is on PS5 as well, right? And so my guess is that I'm hoping that when the store listing comes back, it makes it much clearer that this is a PS4 and PS5 game. And with any luck, it'll also have a little VR headset there in the options.
We shall see.
I was trying to look this up, AJ, because hold on, maybe I can look it up on Steam, because I want to know what the extent of the multiplayer is. On the trailer that keeps playing over and over, it says 30-player grid, or 30 grid racers. 30, I can't speak. Grid of 30 racers. But I want to make sure that is that actually all playable. Can we play with 30 people?
I'd like to see it come out on Steam first, get confirmation that it's actually good, and then I'd be like more excited or interested.
All right. Well, then go over to the Steam page and see that he has 94 ratings that are all very positive for the flat screen version.
That ain't bad.
Right?
Oh, wait, is it already out flat screen?
On Steam. Yes. Here, I'll shoot the link over to you. Here you go.
Oh, nice. I can look it up.
No, you're fine. Be that way. How dare I try to help?
4.5. Very positive.
Here,
that's not bad.
I'm going to bring it up on screen here for everybody. Do you see a player count as far as like actual multiplayer?
Is there? Did you say that there's multiplayer at all confirmed?
I mean, that's what I'm hoping to see here.
I don't know. I think it's probably single player. Seems like single player.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it does say single player. Interesting. I mean,
multiplayer in VR, man. I mean, come on.
Listen, I get it, right? But my biggest complaint about Galaxy Kart is that it's only 6 players, right? And I feel like a grid of 8, 10, 12, and I know this caused more bugs for VR Monkey, which is why they scrapped it. It was just so much more fun to have more players, and I can only imagine how great it would be for this to be a Saturday or Sunday multiplayer game, and to be like looking around and seeing 29 other game cats like on, waiting for the light to turn green. I just think that would be incredible.
It'd be cool, man. But I mean, come on, man. Like, multiplayer is such a risk to develop for VR. I don't know. I think it's all about it's a lot about the single player experience. Yes, there are multiplayer games that a lot of people do play together. Some people play with their friends and whatnot, but like, you look at it, Aces of Thunder, the big, high profile game, and it's not even like filling like 32 player lobbies right now. That should tell you something. Your complaint about Galaxy Kart is that it only has 6 player multiplayer, but how many people are like, there's not even probably 2 people playing together. Like, for those times that you do the meetups and whatever, yeah, it's great. But those are like, I mean, how often are you even doing that? So it's like, it's
every day. Where have you been? Every day.
Playing Galaxy Kart.
Yeah.
With 8 people, with 6 people.
Right.
No, I like those are great, but it's like, I don't know.
Listen, I think having a graphical style like this affords you a lot more, the ability to do a lot more with your game, right? It's like you can make the resolution and the frame rate like through the roof. Maybe the multiplayer is a little bit more seamless, right? Because it's transmitting less. I don't know. I'm just making shit up, but I am thinking that like this. Listen, here's what I'm hoping. My hope is that this game does really, really fucking well. It comes to PSVR2. It does really, really well. And then he goes, awesome. Everyone stay tuned. It's been so popular that I'm bringing a multiplayer mode in. And that's the hope. That's all I care about. Yep. Yeah. But I will definitely play through this single player as well, because I think it would be really, really fun.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not like super interested, but it looks like it would be a fun experience, like a memorable experience thing. It looks like more of a fun experience than it would be like a great game for me. A fun thing to experience, fun and cool thing. But who knows? I don't know. It's got loops and stuff.
40 tracks. All sorts of shit going
tracks. On.
Yeah. I saw, kind of off topic, but I saw Not Me Really in the chat say, would love to see the developers of Ill bring it to VR. Well, my friend, I think you're going to be real happy. I think you'd be real happy about Ill, because the developers have heard us. This is one where I think we've made so much noise, it's time to back off a little bit, right? Because they have been like, listen, we hear you. We also think it would be awesome in VR. However, we just want to get the game out. We just want to get the flat screen game out, and that already is a struggle for us. So we're going to focus on that. And I think they even said something along the lines of like, hearing all of these pleas for VR is making them nervous because it's something they're not familiar with. And it's like, we're going to leave them alone for right now. Right. But as we get closer to launch, as this thing like wraps up development, then we're going to hit them again and remind them how much we want a VR version of this, because this does look incredible. And, but make sure that you are on our Discord. Make sure you are part of the Gamecat Ops movement. The more voices we have, like seriously, every single one counts. It really does, especially in VR. You might not be able to make a difference when it comes to flat screen stuff, right? Because like you're shouting into this void of millions and millions of gamers. In the VR space, you're literally talking about tens of thousands of gamers, right? And so if we get a couple thousand people screaming about stuff, they're gonna hear. And so I think we're gonna have no problem getting ill into VR, but I think we just back off for the time being.
Brian, we should tackle some tips, and then I have something to say.
Do you want to say something now or later? Or?
Yeah, you should probably tackle the tips first.
Okay, tackle the tips first. Let me bring up the tip menu. Tip menu? That's not right. The tip window. We got, hold on, just make sure we didn't skip anybody. We got Vader last. We got Nihilus Ryan the Game Feline with a $5 tip. It says, love aces so much. Now all we need is a pinball game, a fishing game, and a golf game, and we're golden. You think he means golden tea? I love golden tea. Okay, hold on. Pinball game. Well, with any luck, we'll get Zen Pinball or whatever.
You said with that one, you said we need to wait for some contract to run out or something, or is it like
we're kind of reading between the lines as far as the Zen Pinball exclusivity thing?
Yeah.
But basically, they implied, they didn't say it outright, but they implied that we have to wait till October to hear anything about it. So it sounds like there's some kind of meta exclusive agreement on Zen Pinball until October, and then who knows, man? Who knows? After that, we could have it on PSVR. I
definitely want to find that out for sure, because I definitely want to. That's definitely one I would love to rally around.
Big time, yeah. As we get closer, to October, we'll make that one of our priorities, and we'll make sure that they know, because with Meta kind of pulling funding and closing studios and all these things, like all that stuff is going to be over really soon, and so they need to know that there's money to be made over here. What was the other ones? A fishing game. Okay, I do think real fishing is still a possibility. In golf, I don't know what happened to Golf 5, but my guess is that we'll be hearing about that at some point.
I mentioned this on the show last week too. My show last week, that Golf Plus is expanding onto flat screen and PCVR, and I'm like, fuck you guys, man. Like, they're like, oh, this could pave the way for PSVR2 as well, because obviously, our people go out there, and I'm just like, guys, like at this point, like I don't even want to waste our time with this fucking people. Like they've had such a long chance, and they still think that nobody's on PS5, and it's just like, man, fuck y'all. But
hey, if they don't want to listen, like then they don't have to listen, right? Here's the great thing is that there are people listening, AJ. And the people who don't want to listen are going to get sorry, lots of sirens on my end. They're going to get their lunch eaten by people who actually are paying attention to the VR industry and understand where there's money to be made. So, fine.
Anyways, that was my rant about that. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, that's great. All right. I thought you had more. We also got, who else do we have? Thank you, Niles Ryan. We got Gecko Man 11, the Game Cat with the level 2 membership, says, oh, God, I'm sorry. We must be so far behind on tips. He says, AI to help developers is okay in theory, but the energy it takes to train AI models is a lot of greenhouse gases, and that's where my problem with it is. Dude, there's definitely so many issues to have with AI. And honestly, I'm not sitting here like some kind of AI expert. I don't spend a lot of my time learning about it, and so honestly, I think some of you guys know a lot more about what's happening out there than I do. So appreciate the perspective. Mark Smith with the level 2 membership says Aces of Thunder is super fun. Some of the planes are definitely different for taking off distance, and a bit of stutter here and there, but awesome. Hell yeah. There's one plane I try to take off in. It's got like that stupid, like, I don't even know what that is, but it's got like something almost like a wind sail thing. And like, you just try to take off and you just immediately go, poof, and just flip over.
Like it's just this one plane. There's only one plane in the entire game that like I cannot take off with it for the life of me. And it drives me crazy.
I'll be sure to avoid that one because
it's the fourth one. It's the fourth American. It's the bottom American plane is what it is. Even the British planes have like these huge, the British planes are badass in there, by the way. The Spitfire is so good. Shout out Scotty. But the British have like this huge, bulky, just mammoth plane. And like, even I got that big ass sucker off the ground. I don't know how, because it felt like it was going to just crash, but yeah, it felt like it was going to fall out of the sky. It's so heavy and big, but damn, that last American one, man, it is impossible to take off with that thing.
We got Andrew Ehrenreich with there it is, with a $1 tip, and hold on, I got this. It is a hamburger. Oh, that's the entire description. It is literally a hamburger. Thank you for the hamburger, Andrew Ehrenreich. We love you. Gamecat sent 10 without parole gift memberships. Bro, making it rain in here. Turning the chat green as always. Thank you very much, Gamecat, for your generosity. Jason Ewing with the level 1 membership says, don't forget to hit the like button. Oh, yeah. Dude, where are you
Smash
YouTubers?
The like button, Tarzan. Smash the like button, Tarzan.
We're YouTubers. We should be promoting this stuff. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. If you have a hype button, I still don't have a hype button. I know where it's supposed to be. I don't know what's happening. I feel like I'm the last person on the planet to have access to a hype button. I have alternate accounts, AJ, and those don't have hype buttons either. I don't understand. I know where it's supposed to be, and it is not appearing for me. Anybody else out there still not getting a hype button? I'm not alone, right? Not alone. I'm alone.
I could probably tell you how to use it, but I don't know.
Everybody's told me how to use it. I've
one
seen
day you'll figure
screenshots.
out how to use YouTube, Brian. You've only been on it for 10 years.
I know. When I say I don't have a hype button, people don't understand that it literally hasn't rolled out for me yet, and they're always like, "No, you have to do this. No, you have to scroll over here. It's right here." I know where it's supposed to be. I know. Yep. And good. Old Dart says no hype button there. World of Longplay says we never got a hype button. Looper says I just recently saw it for the first time. Good. All right.
The only way that I see it is to like if you go to a video, you go to the comments section, and then you like swipe it to you can like swipe the like live chat, whatever, live chat replay or whatever. That's been the only way I've ever been able to see it is
same.
Is right there.
Same. That is what people show me, and I do not have that option. I can swipe left and right and not. Yep. And I watch. Oh, Nick says he's never had a hype button. Yeah, and it's. Like, I watch a lot of channels like with some with a few thousand subscribers, some with millions of subscribers.
I don't think you can do it during a live stream.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
I watch so few live streams though. I'm saying like I watch channels with all sorts of different subscriber counts, and I know that sometimes comes into play. Sometimes I watch live streams. Mostly I watch edit videos that were edited prior. No option there. So I think it's still the hype button thing has to be in beta still. Tatum says we need a Tatum button. Is that to make things shitty? Like Tatum where?
Tatum where?
Tatum where? Here it is. Pietrek. I forgot. I lost our place. Pietrek F with the 10 plantain says, keep expectations low. I'm assuming he means for the state of play.
State of play. Should always keep expectations low. Absolutely.
So here's his predictions to keep expectations low. Half-Life Alyx, Resident Evil 9 VR, Grand Theft Auto 6 VR. Just for starters. You're killing it. You're killing it. Gamecat with the. Here we go.
Womp womp womp.
Exactly. Though I need some kind of fireworks on screen when you make the tip button red. With the $100 Australian dollars, insane, dude, insane. Thank you for the support. He says, Struth Cobber, I look forward to seeing Indiana Jones PSVR 2 announcement at State of Play, and Motorstorm. I mean, listen.
Oh man, Motorstorm would be great.
Right. I do think that if you pulled enough gamers saying, hey, listen, like all of these PlayStation classic franchises, which ones would you want in VR? I honestly think Motorstorm would be pretty high on that list because I feel like it comes up so often in anytime like, Wes or Miles or somebody's on the show and people are in the chat talking about the games they want flat to VR to tackle. Motorstorm, it's just, people have a lot of love for that IP. He says, just putting it into the universe and try a universe to try and will it to happen. LOL. Also look forward to seeing AJ and Jamie in Order 1. Only $1,000 to go on the Kickstarter.
Yeah. So he became an executive producer for that indie project Order 1. Looks like kind of reminds you of the Persistence. I covered this on Thursday as well. Much better than that damn dude. You were like, I'm not going to make fun of Knights of Fiona. Oh, I did. I was like, that is bullshit. Like, that is crazy.
What, the Kickstarter, the way they're handling
it?
Yeah.
The way they're handling the 96,000 goal, like, is laughable for when, while I agree that, sometimes these teams can make a better second game. It's like I waited forever for Runes Magus and it was sucky. And I was like, I'm not going to support this. Bro, as much as I want a JRPG in VR, for sure.
I'm glad to have you on the show then saying this because I felt like I was the only person who didn't like Runes Magus. And when I say didn't like, I mean I was just really disappointed by it. It was still a fine game, right? But I think I gave it a 5 out of 10, and it was just so, I mean, just so much potential and just nothing to it.
It was like, so I wanted a JRPG. It wasn't a JRPG. That's fine. But it was like, I was like, oh, well, at least it's a dungeon crawler. Well, here's the thing. It wasn't even a fun dungeon crawler. And I love dungeon crawlers. I played some of the most like indie, random, obscure. Did you ever play Dungeon Hunter Alliance? Like I put like 20 hours into that game.
I did. Was that PSP or Vita or what was that?
I played it on, I think, like PS3 with some friends. But it's like, yeah, like I love dungeon crawlers, and it was like not even a good dungeon crawler. But anyways, Order 1 looks kind of cool. Looks like it has potential. Yeah, it sounds like they've still got like $1,000 goal to get to and everything. And
their Kickstarter goals weren't very high to begin with. It was less than $10,000, right? Like this isn't to fund the entire game for sure.
Yeah. Well, the executive producer, Gamecat, asked me if I would do a voice for it or something, and maybe some other stuff. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I enjoy doing that. I love helping out, and contributing things. I've done it a couple times, and it's kind of fun and cool. And hopefully the game is good as well. And I hope it hits the goal. And it would be cool to do that and do it for free, of course, and just to try and contribute something, and also get to work on my voice acting chops a little.
Yeah, listen, I hope the game is good. That's number one, above and beyond everything else, right? Because we're seeing so little of it right now, but I think the mechanics they've announced about, like, the detachable arms and that kind of stuff, the fact that it's roguelite, it does. The look of it, everything kind of screams the persistence, which is great. We need the persistence on PSVR 2.
We do. Right? This is like indie persistence, or like indie System Shock, more like indie persistence, which was inspired by System Shock, which was like indie System Shock. Yeah.
Right. And listen, Jake from the Order 1 team reached out to me saying that, Gamecat had funded this, $3,000 to get the
crazy.
And allowing 3 people to, their likeness to be in the game, their voiceovers to be in the game. And Jake, said that, he offered that role to me. And I said, hey, listen, I have, if you guys have been around for a while, if you've seen, other Gamecats, contribute lots of money to something or whatever. For me, there's always been this barrier when it comes to money, and when it comes to, doing things in games and being part of something. Honestly, like if this was something that, like, they had just come to me and said, hey, do you want to do this? And there was no money involved in getting it to across the finish line. Right? They just said, hey, we like your style. We think you'd be a cool main character. We like your voice. I would have done it for free. Absolutely. 100%. But unfortunately, when there's this much money involved in something, I always turn it down. This is why I've always been very, very reluctant to take sponsorships. Why I've been reluctant to when Gamecats have tried to sponsor videos in the past. this was a thing for a little while. I don't know what spawned it. I said, no, I listen, I'm gonna make my videos the way they make them, and no, you're not gonna give me money to sponsor something. So it's always just been something I've been reluctant to partake in, and so I did have to decline. But it is going to be awesome to see you and other other people that the cats are familiar with in the game.
Yeah, I mean, he just asked me to do it, and I was like, sure, man. Like, you're a good dude. You try to do a lot for the community, and yeah, like I said, I'm definitely not taking any money, and definitely not going to be sponsoring or it's not getting extra promotion or anything for me for it. Like I'm not going to be like, yeah, like buy this game because I'm in it. Like, no. I don't do that. I've done voice acting and or not voice acting, but I did a couple lines in some shitty ass games, and it's like, yeah, whatever. I just did it.
Wait, you were Swordsman.
Oh no, Swordsman was awesome, but yep. That's not the game I was talking about. Yeah, it's not going to give like any bias from me. Like if the game sucks, I'm going to say it sucks. But hey, it's a sucky game that I have a voiceover in, so yay.
Yeah,
but hopefully it's good.
Also, I know nothing about these developers. I have no idea. Like, you know what I mean? That's a big part. That's a thing for me. Where it's like, I don't know anything about you guys. So like, who are you? You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to be tied to something, that I don't understand the origins of, or that, it's just, yeah, I don't know, man. It's I'm struggling with this one. I'm sure the developers over at Aberrant are wonderful people. But I haven't done my due diligence to say, yep, I want to be part of this.
Silver Nexus, Pixar Up 1978 was okay. That was all right. I
forgot about that one. Yeah. Everybody on the face of the planet was in that game.
Yeah. I was talking about RC Airplane Challenge. That game was awful, but I did get to go double pop.
Double pop. That's what it was.
Triple pop. Yep. Too many pops to count. But Swordsman is definitely my pride and joy when it comes to lines and characters played.
Right. Yep. Anyway, I'm looking forward to keeping an eye on Order 1. I'm looking forward to seeing how far the Kickstarter goes, how far the some gameplay footage would be fucking fantastic. What they've shown so far has been pretty cool, but I can't wait to see like the moment to moment stuff. So best of luck to them. Thrilled that they're bringing their game to PSVR 2, and well done, Gamecat, for for supporting these teams that need the support.
Yeah, good luck with it, man.
Comic Book Guy with the 1.5 quid says nothing. Hello, Comic Book Guy. Hope you're doing well. Son WTF sent 5 without parole gift memberships. Thank you very much, Son. Thank you for the generosity. You guys keeping the channel running. You guys are amazing. Comic Book Guy with another 1.5 quid says nothing. That's okay. Thank you for your support.
All right, Brian. Before we get into the 4-minute challenge, I did want to talk about something. We talk about all these hopes and dreams and like, oh, what if this comes to VR? And oh, what if this comes to VR? Even when there's like very little sign that they will. So I want to talk about something that's really important, Brian. That is always remembering that to support and enjoy the stuff that is right in front of us. Don't take what we actually have for granted. Like Sean Murray tweets, Brian. It is super important. No, really though, I actually like genuinely mean that in some way. Like, yes, with all these, with all these things, it is cool to have these like, these ambitious like Gamecat operations where we try to get this game and that game and support this game and that game. But at the same time, we can't always lose sight of the stuff that's right in front of us. I've talked about like, it's really important for us to make sure we go and, support some of these games that recently came out, from Aces of Thunder to RoboQuest to V-Racer Hoverbike to, all this stuff. And then No Man's Sky, which Sean Murray has tweeted out a brand new tweet. And I've also discovered I also figured out something new, and nobody say, okay, so does anybody know what the three two emojis means? I'll wait for the people in the chat to say, but he tweeted out, Brian, a construction vest. Yeah, okay. Somebody does know it, so I'm not that smart, actually. Maybe that was just coincidence. But I figured out why he started doing these three emojis is because it's Wednesday. It's always been. It's like these updates are usually on Wednesdays, and I figured out that I was like, oh yeah, he does the three. He retweets his thing with three because it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Wednesday is probably going to be the day for this update. But somebody was like, I think it was I don't remember who it was. I was scrolling through Twitter real quick, but somebody was like a haptics fest, and I was like, dude, I wish. Like this is if there was one game I could have a haptics fest for, it would definitely be this one, or like native support. But I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of construction update, some kind of crafting, construction expansion. That's just my guess. We're going to have space bulldozers mining asteroids, things like that. You excited about this, Brian? We still need to play No Man's Sky together.
I'm not excited about it because I haven't played the last 30 updates. Right,
25. Get it right.
Yeah. So whenever I get in there, it's all going to be new to me, and it's and hopefully it'll all just feel like, oh, hey, there's, I'll be experiencing one of the updates as just part of the game, right? And I think I've decided I'm going to jump into No Man's Sky when they say it's done. when Sean Murray tweets out a checkpoint emoji, yeah, done, mission accomplished. Right? Then I'll be like, oh, it's you guys are done. You guys are all set with this game. Cool. Well, then I want to jump in now because what if I jump in and I spend hundreds of hours in the game and then the next day, Sean Murray tweets out like a little cat. And it was like, oh my God, there's a whole planet of cats now where you can pet cats and you can have cat owners and then you can also own cats. You can be part of the cat hierarchy.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm always excited with No Man's Sky updates. I usually end up playing at least like several more hours for a little while, and I mean, yeah, I've pushed this game as far as I can go with it, really. So I'm looking forward to Light No Fire next. Really, I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready for Light No Fire, and to kind of somewhat start sunsetting No Man's Sky, but it's just amazing that they're still supporting this game like this, and we'll see what the update is. I like how Nick says investigations. That'd be really cool. But I'm kind of ready for the next gen thing. I have like over 1,000 hours in this game, and I've been playing it for 10 years, and it's like, what else can I do, man? like there's still stuff that blows my mind when I play it and whatnot, but it's like it's just once you've spent that much time in a game, it's really hard to like keep going. For me, at least. I know some people play some games for much more, but I am excited, and I'll jump in for a little bit. You've missed a lot of awesome game in this one, though, for sure. Unfortunately,
it's not going anywhere.
No, it'll be supported for a while. You should go build a giant cat ship. Yeah. Some giant flying a cat ship.
Flying cat ship.
You could fly around in space in a giant cat. I feel like you'd have fun with that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of fun to be had in No Man's Sky. Good stuff. Yeah.
I'm okay with you playing Final Fantasy VII for now. One of my other favorite games of all time.
That's good because I fell off of Xenoblade Chronicles X hard.
Oh, you did.
I was like, this is kind of the flat screen version of No Man's Sky plus a lot of dialogue that no one cares about Monolith Soft.
Oh man. Xenoblade Chronicles X. I love that game so much. I bought a Wii U 2 years in advance waiting for that game, and it was worth every second. But it does take like 60 hours to get your mechs.
Probably.
And then there's another like 60 hours to play. And it was really fun open world gameplay and mechs that turn into giant motorcycles and trucks and cars, and it was really cool.
Yeah, listen, if it was more focused on the gameplay and less about the story.
I actually like the story too, man. I thought the story was pretty good.
Good.
There was one twist in particular that was like really memorable, but yeah. I liked the story overall.
What was the Xenosaga on PS2? Xenosaga on PS2 should have clued me into the fact that Xenoblade Chronicles wasn't going to be for me, because it was the same thing as, like, you know, no one edits Kojima for some reason. No one's editing dialogue or cutscenes at Monolith. Monolith? Did I just say that? What the fuck? His development team. Anyway, it's just these long drawn out cutscenes, conversations that are so slow and stilted. It's like, can we move this along, please? And I love story in games, but the actual gameplay in Xenoblade Chronicles X was great, right? I wanted to just run out into those open worlds and you know, knock out mission after mission after mission. I was like, this could be really, really fun, but it gets in its own way a lot. But again, you know, it's kind of thing like where you got to just give it time.
Were you playing it on like the handheld, like the mobile thing?
Yeah, I was playing on Switch, handheld mode. Yeah, I play everything.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that makes sense, because I didn't really like it on the handheld mode thing. I liked it on the big screen. Okay. I've never been a big. Yeah, never mind. Anyways,
all right. Real quick, Bobby Bevine AU. It might be Bevine. Bevenu, Bobby Bevenu, and Micah in the chat.
Bobby Boucher.
I'm just fucking figuring this shit out as we go. Says, are the company that's making the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles VR game, Empire City, making it an exclusive to Quest? I heard around it was rumored to come to PSVR2. Yeah, so it's Cortopia Studios, and I had emailed them forever ago when the game was first announced, and they told me straight up that it is not a Meta exclusive at all, and that
and also who cares?
It could very possibly come to PSVR 2.
It's never gonna, and it's not gonna be that great anyway, so it's all good. There, you're welcome. Saved you time.
Listen, here's
who's ready for 4-minute challenge.
Wait, real quick.
The other episode where he answered this like 5 times.
Yeah, real quick. just want to point out that whoever was playing this over at IGN, this is the IGN video here. They were saying they seem to love it. They seem to love it, but like all of the footage I've seen of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just doesn't look fun. And it looks real. I mean, like, I get that they're going for the cartoon aesthetic, but it just looks so questy. And so my hope is that if it does come to PSVR 2, that it's, you know, they really update the visuals. It better look razor sharp and be running a 90 native in the headset. And hopefully the multiplayer makes it way more fun than this looks. But yeah, very, very possible that it comes to PSVR 2. They've obviously gotten a lot of requests for it. So hopefully it's good. And if it's good, then I hope it comes to PSVR 2. Yes, AJ. Yeah, I know. I don't think it looks very good either. But I'm hoping, as we know, sometimes shit just doesn't look good on the flat screen when it's actually very, very fun in VR, right? I think Ancient Dungeon looks pretty terrible when you're watching footage or a trailer. And Ancient Dungeon on PSVR 2 is one of my favorite games in the heads up.
Shit.
Yes, we did mention on today's show, and the game was Ancient Dungeon. Did I get it?
I need to change my game.
Did I get it in 0 seconds?
You got it in 0 seconds. Hold on.
Looper, it's a new record. It's a new record. Chalk it up for 18th win.
Okay.
We didn't even start the timer, and I got it. That's a new record.
I've done this one before. Hold on. I need to find a different game now. God damn it! Why'd you have to say that?
Want me to send you the link to Neptune Flex? Dan Keeper says, "Man, that's so questy. You're questier than Quest 64." Four Aces Game Cat says, "Damn it, Brian! Now AJ's going to pick something he doesn't know anything about. Don't let him fool you. He doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't know anything about Ancient Dungeon either."
Yeah, I do. I've beaten Ancient Dungeon, sir, once.
So somebody has let you tag along in Ancient Dungeon while they beat the game.
Oh, yes. It wasn't your dead corpse that I dragged through the final boss and beat. Excuse-moi.
That doesn't sound accurate at all.
Ancient Dungeon Master.
Listen. We've already said that you can't just scream loudly and have it be true.
No, we said the opposite. We said that's what makes it true.
No one's going to fact check me. No one's going to fact check me. Nope. That's not louder, what we said.
And I am dumber, and therefore I am righter.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Okay. All right. I'm ready for now that you fucked up my game that I had picked.
I mean, there was no reason you couldn't have picked it. Okay.
I mean, like literally you had to mention it right before it started. Okay.
Yep. All right, you guys, you know how this works. We got 4 minutes, but an infinite number of yes or no questions to figure out what PSVR1 or PSVR2 game AJ is thinking of. So suggest good questions for me to ask in the chat, and then based on the answers we get, suggest games that it might be. I'm going to put 4 minutes up on the clock. The clock with the counter the way that Jeremy likes it. On your mark, get Dez. Go. Is it on PSVR2?
Yes.
Did we talk about it on today's show?
No.
Oh, crap. Is it also on PSVR1?
Yes.
Is it on Quest or Steam or anything?
Oh, shit.
Okay, so it's a PSVR1 and PSVR2 game. Is it horror?
No. Yes, it's on other platforms. Yes.
Cool. It's not horror. Is it multiplayer?
No.
Okay, single player PSVR1 and PSVR2 game. Does it have a cartoon aesthetic?
No.
It goes for realism?
Yes.
Okay. That narrowing things down pretty quickly here. Does it have full locomotion?
Yes.
Okay. Full loco. Is it a puzzle game?
No.
Is there action?
Yes.
Okay. Is it by hold on real quick here. Is it by
no.
Who's the I Expect You to Die team? Is it Shell?
No.
It's not Shell Games. Okay.
No, but to your credit, I was thinking about that earlier.
Right. And I wasn't going for I Expect You to Die. I was thinking about the other one, the
sword fighting one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until You Fall. That's what I was thinking of. Okay.
I almost picked that earlier.
Cool. Mm-hmm. All right. PSVR1, PSVR2, action game, full locomotion. It goes for realism, which I guess my choice hadn't. Oh, can you play this on the flat screen as well?
No.
Okay. I guess there goes Hitman, you guys. Let's see. Is there? Oh, good question, you guys. Is there? Well, we talked about Swordsman on today's show, and he said no, so it can't be Swordsman. Is it based on a known IP? As Old Darth.
No.
Is there melee combat?
Yes.
Okay, it's melee combat. That's good. Melee combat. Is it sci-fi?
No.
Fantasy?
No.
Is there stealth?
Yes.
Okay, we should be able to get this. Why is my brain not working? There's stealth. It's a game that's on PSVR1 and PSVR2. That's our biggest clue right there. And then on top of that, it goes for realism. It's got a realistic look to it. Single player, full locomotion. It's an action game focused on melee. It's got some stealth. Broken Edge does not have a realistic
How much time do you have left?
1 minute and 20 seconds.
Man.
Does it? Good question. Are there zombies?
No.
Is it by Vertigo Games?
Why was that a good question? No.
Not by Vertigo Games. Okay, that eliminates quite a bit of stuff. Persistence isn't on PSVR2, Old Darth. Skyrim isn't on PSVR2, Modern Gamer. Is it by Skydance? No, it can't. It's not a zombie game. Aspire 1's not on PSVR2. Why?
Was that a question?
Is it a rhythm game?
No.
Is there a dog?
No.
I'm so confused right now. PSVR 1 and PSVR 2 game. That limits it to so many games already. And then having a realistic art style. We get 20 seconds. Come on, you guys. The Wizards is not on PSVR 1 and PSVR 2. Those are two separate games. Thank you. It's an action game, not puzzling. Crap. We didn't talk about it on today's show, so it's not No Man's Sky. Gorn is not realistic. I was relying a lot on you guys today. All right, well, since we're out of time, is it Wanderer?
There are 2 hints on the screen as to what game this is. Do you know what those hints are, Brian? 1
on the screen
is this little wolf back here, and the other is the Endeavor 1 beanie that I'm wearing, because the game is, in fact, Arashi Castles of Sin. I really hope Haru is a wolf and not a dog, because I'm going to feel really bad.
That's fair.
Because he was like, is it her dog? I was like, no. Oh, I'm so sorry to break your streak, but releasing I even tried to give you a chance there, because you were like, is it by Skydance? And I was like, was that a question? I tried to help you out as much as possible here.
Wait, you said it wasn't by Skydance.
No, I said, you said it wasn't, because it wasn't you said it wasn't a zombie game. And I said, was that a question?
I see. I eliminated Skydance because
and I tried to bring you back. I tried to give you a chance to ask it, but I didn't want to give it away completely. But I leaned this way so that you could see Haru in the back.
Trust me, I am not looking at you doing this. I am not looking at you doing this.
No, I know.
Yep. No, that was good.
I tried to help you out, but I didn't want to make it too easy. I didn't want to give it away and cheat, because that's cheating too.
Yeah. Well, I give the chat and myself a lot of credit for getting a terrible fucking piece of shit port on PSVR2. Good job, everybody, for not thinking about this game, because goddamn, this was a horrible, horrible port job, and it was really, really sad that they didn't give this game the love it deserved, because it was actually pretty fun on PSVR1, and sadly,
I did.
What's that?
Yeah, it's set in feudal Japan, really cool setting. It was great on PSVR1. It might be better on PSVR2 now.
It might be, but I highly doubt it, knowing what happened to get it to PSVR2. Highly doubt it. It
was really disappointing that like when it was in Skydance's hands, I was like, oh yeah, like they're gonna VRAF it. Yeah. And it's like, man, this game's like has too much potential to not get the love that it should have gotten.
That was the plan initially. The plan initially was to Skydance the fuck out of it and make it feel, physicsy and weighty, and make it feel like almost like a Saints and Sinners game. And then it
would have been so good.
And then they figured out how much money that would have cost.
Yeah.
And they said, fuck it, we'll just do a straight port.
Yeah. With broken locomotion.
Yeah,
that's not even a straight port.
I think those the dead zone on the analog stick, I think that issue's been fixed, so you don't accidentally turn anymore.
But, and the resolution's better, but man, the lack of physics, and
real big disappointment. Really a big shame.
But I still loved it on PSVR1 though.
Yep. So I mean, I loved it,
and I love Ninja Cat.
Who doesn't love Ninja Cat?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Ninja Cat? All right, you guys, it's probably time to wrap this thing up, but we thank you everybody for being here. This was a fun episode. We had a lot of shit to cover, and we covered it all, I think.
State of play. Yeah, we really flew by that state of play, but I guess there's really not much to talk about yet, is there?
I mean, I think we talked about it for as long as it needed to be talked about. Okay. Also, we still have a Wednesday show where we can get some West predictions, and then of course, Jamie and I will stream it on Thursday. So plenty more state of play on Without Parole this week. Punch. All right. Thanks, you guys. Make sure you go subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground. Subscribe to all my co-hosts. Do that thing you do and come join us over on Discord. You guys think that thing you do? No? You pretend like you don't know what that thing you do is? Probably gonna pretend
that
like he doesn't
thing
know.
you do, 'cause it's true. That thing you do.
You guys are awesome.
That thing you do. Metal cover.
Over on patreon.com/withoutparole games, or by being a member over here, or by tipping during the show. You're keeping the lights on, and we thank you oh so very much for it. Sorry, my volume keeps fucking shitting the bed. I don't know what's wrong with this thing, man. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Still broken. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Check. Still broken. During the last 2 minutes of the show, it craps the bed. You guys are keeping the lights on. Thank you so much for doing that. We really appreciate you. I can't do this without you. I want to do this for as long as I possibly can, and I cannot do it without your support. So thank you for keeping the channel alive so that I can help keep PSVR2 alive. See you over on Discord. Thanks, everybody. Even if you don't say a goddamn word, we love you just as much. I forgot how to do this. Can we cue the cat, AJ?
Cue the notified cat brackets out today. See you guys on Wednesday. To Chrome to the Dome. Colossus says not all cats are cats. Dan Kiefer says, where's Brian voice? For Aces Gamer Cat says, thank you for keeping Without Parole alive at Gamecat. Oops, it's Ali again. Says, yes. Thanks for making my Monday suck.
When did Ali oops last time?
A little less. Guys on fist bump to you, Markio 137 every day, because that's what Oops and Ali does. Colin Love, great show. AIJ for the win. Thank you so much, Colin Loves. I appreciate it. Random Toxie says, AJ, listen to Gojira on the drive home. I am proud of you, Random Toxie. Hell yeah.
Wow,
I'm just so proud of you.
It's so easy to get AJ's attention.
Awesome Tatum 1976 in the house. Nice. Says, a wolf is not a dog and a tiger is the cat. Ace Phil, I'm apparently stirring up some controversy about a wolf being a dog. I don't know.
No one cares.
Oh, I'm louder and angrier than you, so I'm the one who's right. Awesome Tatum. Ace Phil PR. What up, man? Thank you so much. Scott, the music game Cat for Life says, rock on. Game Cats. Thanks so much, man. Itachi Uchiha, I said it right, says peace out. Thank you, homie. Gecko Man 11, the Game Cat says see you, Gecko Man. Flesh Eater Gaming. You need to read the book called Flesh Eaters, Flesh Eater Gaming. Also, I feel like I see you a lot, but I haven't seen you in a while and said hi. So hi, Flesh Eater Gaming. Good to see you again. Not Attack Gaming. Goodbye to you. Have a wonderful night. Magic the Game Cat says,
oh my God, I just unsubscribed. Jesus Christ.
Aces of Thundercats impression. Mad 00 score, 00 vegan. Thank you so much, man. Markio, the legendary 137, Platinum, Underground, Gamecat. Can't see the rest of your name. I miss it so much. Says thanks for the membership to at A54067. What the fuck? I hate this so much. The Bat and the Gamecat.
I can't believe I didn't know where you were going with that.
Two Wise Underground Stranger Game Cat says bye-bye. Jason RS 1978 says till next time, Mr. Bond. Dan Kiefer, I already said you. Niculo. All of you guys.
Did I just run out of gas?
Or batteries.
Did AIJ just run out of RAM?